swelling, headache or a rash, asthma, colitis, fatigue, or gas. What will today's symptom be? My loopy life with lupus. Hey guys, so it's Thursday and I decided to just force myself to do a little bit of painting here. But so I just thought that I would do a little chat while I painted. And yeah, so it has not been a fun week for me, guys. I just do not feel well at all. I'm not really sure what is going on. I all along was thinking that this was side effects from my methotrexate. But it's just weird because I have not experienced much in terms of side effects with the methotrexate. The first weekend that I took it, which was almost a year ago now, the first weekend I took it, I had a bit of nausea, and it went away, and then that was it. I didn't experience any nausea again until a few months later. I had one episode of it, and then again, that was it with the nausea. And I never really had any issues with that until just in the last month or so. Other than that, I would just get, I take it every Friday night, and I would get on Saturdays and Sundays, I would get grogginess and just feel very sleepy. But it was not, most of the time I could deal with it. If I just got up and got moving and, you know, kept myself busy, the grogginess would lift a little bit. Yeah, so, but then, you know, some weekends I really had no energy whatsoever and I had to just lay down and rest. But it wasn't that bad. Like I said, it would only be on the weekend and then it would be gone. And so I thought it was a small price to pay for the fact that this medication really, really helped my joint pain. I mean, I was pretty much pain-free with the exception of my jaw, which is a whole other issue. Yeah, so, but this week has been brutal for me, and I don't know if it's the medication or if it's actually the lupus or something else. I don't know. That's the hard thing with lupus, is that some of the symptoms you get with it are similar to flus or other things, and so it's sometimes hard to tell, is it a side effect or is it the lupus itself, or, you know, like, what is it? I missed both days of work this week, and I have been so fatigued. I've never experienced fatigue like this before. I really just felt like I couldn't do anything. I just wanted to lay around or sleep or whatever. And when I did try to get up and walk, it felt like my legs weighed like 100 pounds. And the nausea would get worse when I would try to get up and move. It just felt like my stomach was just churning, and it was just not fun. Not fun at all. I did start to worry that I might be pregnant on, I think it was Monday night. It kind of hit me, the notion that, oh God, what if I'm pregnant? That's definitely not something you want to happen when you're on methotrexate. It can cause miscarriage. It can cause birth defects. It's just not a good thing. So then it was Tuesday night. I started reading on the internet to see if anyone had had any experience of, becoming pregnant while taking methotrexate. I found this one woman's story that scared the bejeebers out of me, because she found out she was pregnant, 9 weeks pregnant, and she had been taking methotrexate for her rheumatoid arthritis along with another, highly strong medication that's not something you should be pregnant while taking. And she even had an IUD, birth control, put in her. So she got pregnant against all odds, basically. And right away the doctors were telling her she should terminate the pregnancy. She was an emotional wreck, because who wants to be faced with that, finding out you're pregnant and then being told you should terminate, because they felt that the baby would have birth defects or things like that. And while she was trying to make the decision, 3 days later, she miscarried. And so as I'm reading this, I'm bawling my eyes out, because, I want to have a baby so badly, but this is not the time for it to happen. And I'm reading this and I'm like, what if I'm pregnant and I'm faced with these kind of decisions? Like, I just can't imagine having to deal with that right now. And I was like freaking out. I went to bed and had an emotional breakdown on Alex, poor guy. But he's an amazing husband. And was just bawling and was just complaining to him about feeling so sick and so exhausted and in so much pain with my jaw, and how I was just so frustrated that I couldn't get a hold of any doctors for any kind of information of what the heck was going on, what I should be doing, and, just vented and all that fun stuff. Anyways, he was so sweet. The next day, which was Wednesday, which was yesterday, he brought me home ginger ale. And I did make an attempt. I actually went out yesterday. It was so cold, though, I kind of regret it. But I went out. I didn't tell him I was going out, but I decided to try and get some fresh air and see if getting out would help perk me up a little. I went to mail a package, and I picked up a pregnancy test while I was out. I came home and I took it, and it was negative, so I'm not pregnant, thankfully. I don't have to worry about that. And so then I texted Alex to tell him that I'm not pregnant. And he's like, well, how do you know? And then I told him, I'm like, well, I went and got a pregnancy test. Like, I just went for a walk. Which, by the way, my walk just made me feel more sick. By the time I got home, I was done in for. So that was not really a good idea. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, you went out and got a pregnancy test. He's like, I just bought one. And I'm like, well, you didn't tell me you were going to do that. And he's like, well, I didn't think you'd go out in the cold weather when you're feeling sick. And I'm like, well, I just wanted fresh air. Anyways, so we have a stock of pregnancy tests. I told him, like, you can go and return it, but he's like, oh, it's probably good to have it on hand anyway since I'm on this medication. And we probably should be, like, you know, testing from time to time just to make sure that I'm not pregnant. So, so that's what happened with that. So we have like a stock of pregnancy tests now, but he also brought me home some ginger ale for my tummy. Kind of helps a little. Gravol was helping my nausea, but Gravol is not helping so much anymore. So yeah, so that's not very good. But yeah, basically that's what's happening with that. And I just feel so sick and so frustrated. Yeah. So, in terms of my jaw, I was getting so frustrated in trying to get a hold of doctors to tell me, like, what's happening with that, you know, like what happened to my rheumatologist requesting a consult with my oral surgeon to, you know, just to see what's the deal is, like what's going on. So I got on the internet, did some detective work, and I found my rheumatologist's email address. So I emailed him and explained the whole situation because he was away and I saw a different doctor at my last doctor's appointment because he was away. So I filled him in on the whole spiel with my jaw and what was said at the last appointment at the Lupus clinic about wanting to discuss with the oral surgeon before going ahead with these injections. And so did that, and the next day, so I guess that would be yesterday, got an email back, and it was from his secretary, and she said that Dr. Urowitz, he had faxed through a request for a consult with my oral surgeon, and that they would be, and that they wanted me to call the secretary, the receptionist at the Lupus clinic, for more information. So I called her. Of course, you always get voicemail, and so I left a message, and she called me back, and all she told me was that the consult had been faxed through, and to just call the oral surgeon's office to confirm. So I did that today and was told that if it was sent 2 days ago, that it takes time to process and that they will call me when it's been processed, which they said should be like no later than next week, which to me is still not soon enough because I've been waiting since January for all of this crap. So I'm not impressed, but whatever. At least I know that they did fax the consult. So I am happy to hear that. So that's what's happening with the jaw. I just basically am waiting. And as for the nausea, I have no clue what to do about it. I don't know. I tried calling the lupus clinic nurse. But she has a message on there saying that she is away until tomorrow. And I don't know if that means she'll be back tomorrow or she'll be back on Monday. Because generally you call the lupus clinic nurse with any questions in regards to like drugs or new symptoms or whatever. And so I basically have to wait for that. I just decided to send off another email to my rheumatologist, telling him about how I've been feeling this week and asking him what I need to do. I just don't know if I should be trying to get in to see him, which I don't know how soon I could get in to see him anyway, or if I should be going to my family doctor. Should I take my dose of methotrexate tomorrow night, or should I be waiting on that and not taking it? You know, just asking him, you know, could I all of a sudden be getting side effects from this medication that I never had side effects before? You know, is that normal, or could it be something else? You know, that kind of stuff. And so yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. So I'm just not feeling good. So I've just been trying to take it as easy as possible, which is really hard for me when I want to get up and do stuff. My friend Emily's baby shower is this weekend, this Sunday. I don't want to miss it. You know, I've gone out and bought her gift. I went a little overboard, but I had fun. So, you know, I want to put together her gift in a nice way, and I also was hoping to make a card using my Cricut machine. I saw this really neat tutorial on YouTube for a card to make it look like a onesie, and it looked so cute, and so I wanted to do that. But it's been on my like to-do list every day this week, make the baby shower card, but then I like literally can't get up off the couch or out of bed. Like I just feel so ugh. So at least I can say I got a little painting done right now. I'm working on her blushing. Actually, I can probably do her ears too. Let's get some blushing on her ears. This baby is gonna be so cute. Painting is very relaxing for me, though, I will say that. I'm kind of glad that I'm doing it, but I really don't feel well right now. Like, I'm trying to keep my movements to a minimum because the more I move, the worse I feel. But yeah, I'm just building up her blushing. It's funny, I started with her toes last week, and so her toes are pretty much done, but all her other blushing has to be done now, because usually I build those all up at the same time, but for some reason I just chose to focus on the toes first. But yeah, she's coming along. I kind of have to let these layers dry before I can add more color. But yeah, so I don't want to smudge anything until it's dry. So I'll let that dry, and I'll probably get another layer on there, but then I'm probably going to have to take a rest because I feel so bleh. But anyways, guys, I just thought I would give you that update. It's just been a really crazy emotional week for me. I just have been down in the dumps, to say the least. I'm usually quite positive, but this week has been difficult. And I've just been frustrated because Alex's father-in-law, or Alex's dad and Alex's stepmom, my in-laws, they're always telling me that I should read the book The Secret, and that positive thinking can help cure me. It's just like, I don't need to hear that, because I am a positive thinker. You guys know it. You see it in my videos. But that doesn't mean that I can't have bad days where I feel angry and I feel upset or depressed. Like, I'm allowed to feel that when I feel sick and I feel like crap and I can't get things done that I want to get done. But for the most part, I am positive. I am a positive thinker. And positive, staying positive does help me deal with my illness. It helps me deal, it helps lift my mood. But it's not going to cure my disease. My disease does not have a cure. And positive thinking is not going to cure it. Yes, it can help me deal with it. It can help me feel better sometimes. But the fact of the matter is that I still don't feel 100% healthy every day. Like, I say my new 100% is like 80%. If I feel 80% well, that's a good day. That's 100% for me. So the fact of the matter is that I never feel 100% well. And, that's how it is. That's how it's going to be. But like I said, if I'm 80%, I feel like that's good. I can function. It's good. But I just get so irritated with these people that don't want to take the time to learn about my disease, and yet they want to try and say, oh, read this book, it'll change your life, it's gonna make you better, and it's gonna cure your illness. Like, I don't need to hear that. Because really, when you say something like that, it basically feels like you're putting blame on the patient. It's like you're saying to them, you don't think positively, and that's why you're sick. It's like, no, I've always been a positive thinker, and yet I got sick. I didn't want to get sick. It just happened, and I have to deal with it. But I just get so irritated when people keep telling me, well, think positive, think positive. It's like, okay, but if you could spend a week in my shoes, let me know if you can stay positive when you feel like crap all the time. Like, it's a really hard thing. It's a really hard thing to stay positive when you feel so sick and so crummy and you can't do things that you used to be able to do. Like, it's a hard thing to do. So, it's easy for them to say, be positive, think positive, and, you'll get better. It's like, well, if you could be in my position, I'm sure you would feel very differently. But yeah, that's my little rant, because I just wish instead of them saying crap like that, they would just go and learn about my disease. Because I really don't think any of them have. That's the thing that kills me, is that they try to be like they know it all, but they've never, like, as far as I know, they've never, you know, read anything or done anything. Like last year, we were going to do the lupus walk. And, you know, I every year we do the lupus walk, and I invite all my family and all my friends to come and walk with us, to join our team, you know, because it doubles our chances to raise money, because each person in the team is raising money with people that they know that we don't know. But not only that, to have a team, I feel, is just showing your support. So I see like so many people where they have all their friends and all their family around them walking the day of the walk, and they have this big team of people around them, and it's, you know, it's like a big hug. It's like showing that you support them. But every year I put out these invites, you know, asking people to join our team, and no one comes except for Alex and my mom. There was one year that my dad, or 2 years I think, my dad came out because it was a walk that was near him. But, you know, he can drive out here. It's only like a half-hour drive. But, you know, we last year we chose the walk that was in our hometown here, hoping more people would come because it's closer for everyone. The other one was like a half-hour drive out of the city. But yeah, like there was 1 year 2 years my dad came, and 1 year one of my friends came with her kids, and my sister came with my niece and my nephew. But other than that, every year it's just been my mom and Alex and me. And, you know, I extended the invite to everyone in my family, to everyone in Alex's family, and no one came, you know. And to me, that's just showing a lack of support. Some of them sponsored us, which, okay, that's fine. They sponsored us. That's nice. That shows support. But I think to me, it would mean so much more to physically see them there on the day of the walk, walking with me, you know, like showing that support, and, you know, learning about my illness. I know my side of the family has taken the time to read the lupus book that Lupus Ontario puts out. Has great information in there about the disease and all the things that you can experience with the disease, all the medications and stuff like that. It's an excellent book, and my mom's side of the family has read it all. I passed it along to Alex's side of the family. I passed it along to my dad's side of the family. I really don't know if they've read it. I don't know. Because they don't seem to know much about it. When I talk about it, they have like a lot of questions, which is fine. That's good that they're asking questions, like, and I will gladly answer them. But it kind of shows me that they never did read the book. And so that's kind of, you know, another disappointing thing, you know, like like I said, like so many of them will like say, oh, you know, try this, try that, you know, be positive thinking, and yet they don't take the time to learn about the disease. Like, it's just so frustrating, and it just shows a lack of support, in my opinion. Like, it's just rude, and maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, I don't know, but to me, I just find it rude, and it just really bothers me a lot. I don't know. And, you know, I feel like I need to put up a front when I see, like, when I go visit his family and stuff, like, when they ask how I am, I feel like I have to just, like, pretend that I'm okay. Because if I if I mention anything that's bothering me health-wise, they don't really know how to respond to it, or they go back into the whole, oh, you know, just think positive and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I'm tired of hearing it, so I just most of the time will pretend that I feel okay, but I shouldn't have to do that. And I think that's one of the misconceptions about chronic illnesses too, is that, you know, people seem to think that you're okay because you look okay. You don't look sick, but you are sick. And I think that's another one of the confusions with this disease, is that you don't look sick, so people don't, you know, they don't understand that you're not well. And, you know, my friends, they try to, you know, we try to get together here and there. I would be quite happy with just having a girls' night here at my house where we watch a movie or play some games, because it's less physical for me. But they always want to be going out somewhere. They want to go bowling this Saturday. And I'm thinking, the way I have been feeling, I don't know if I can do bowling. You know what I'm saying? And actually another one of our friends, she has asthma and diabetes, and she's just recently been diagnosed with a fibroid tumor. And so she's not feeling so hot either. And so now she's kind of understanding, you know, how I feel. And she's like, wow, like, you know, they're wanting to go bowling and, you know, we're feeling sick and they just don't seem to get it. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, every time, you know, we try to get together, they're like, well, you know, we want to go out and play Laser Quest or go bowling. And it's like, you know, that takes a lot of energy. And when I take my methotrexate on a Friday night, by Saturday night, I'm like fighting to stay awake. So I just, you know, playing bowling just, you know, it just doesn't sound like something that I want to be doing when I'm feeling like that, you know. And that's just it. Like, they don't understand that. Like, they don't understand what that feels like. So it's just really frustrating. Really frustrating. And anyways, I've ranted enough. And, you know, so this is like, it's almost like a Loopy Life with Lupus video, but with Reborn going on at the same time. So, I hope you guys are enjoying seeing me paint this little Ivy baby. And her name, actually, her mom is going to be naming her Story. I forgot to mention that. So this is, you know, this is the Ivy kit, but her mommy is naming her Story. So, alright, well, I think that's about it. Maybe I can do another layer on her lips. And I'm running out of paint. I gotta mix up some more paint. But yeah, I'm just gonna do this layer on her lips here. I think I'm gonna get some lunch because my stomach is growling a little bit. It's hard for me to decide what I want to eat though, because I feel so blah. But I should eat something. So anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Sorry, it's kind of a depressing one. Hopefully the painting part kind of spruced it up a little for you guys. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope I will get some answers soon and that I'll start to feel better. And we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Last Friday, when I was home on my day off, I got a phone call from Margaret's mom. Margaret is the little girl that I am a nanny for, and got some bad news that they will no longer need me after March.